Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we are playing with a mono red aggro deck that has a bunch of interesting cards at the high level there. Will those cards take this deck from being pretty cool to super cool? Stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, the one and only Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you. Film before live studio audience. Yes, thank you so much. Yukon Socket. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the Aether Hub, hosted by scuttimuss, I suppose, called Brian's Red. Now, I didn't want to call it Brian's Red, so I just called it Aggro Red up here, and this is the deck we're looking at. So before we get into it, let me tell you a story. I have been trying to put together decks for the last 2 days. And everything has sucked. This probably makes the first deck out of 10 that hasn't just gotten its ass beat non-stop. It's been really frustrating. And then, like yesterday, I was trying to come back down to the secret underground layer and, managed to fall down the stairs. And that sucked too. And I got to tell you, you don't feel like playing Magic cards after you fall down the stairs. So, man, I'm trying to get back in the saddle. This is the first deck that in a long time that's had any sort of juice to it. And so we're going to have some fun. All right, so what is up with this deck? It is a standard mono red aggro deck from the 3-mana column over to the left. That's pretty standard stuff. Mano, Swiftspear, all that stuff. We've seen it a ton. But over here, columns 4 and 5, that stuff looks super interesting, right? Because I love mono red aggro. It just gets boring. I don't like playing the same thing over and over again. But if we can play a little of this Urbrask, the Koth, Jaya, these guys have been around for a while, but I love seeing them, and they do a good job. Etali, he costs 7. How are we going to get 7 mana? I don't know. Koth's going to get that mana for us? Could be. Maybe Koth will also get us the mana we need for Skitterbeam. Now, you can say the same thing about Shivan Branch-Burner here. Let's take a look at this guy. But he's got Convoke, which means we only got to pay 2 red, and we can just tap a bunch of dudes. And then we got a flying hasty 4/4. That'll be sweet. So I got a lot of hope for Shivan Branch-Burner. We only got 1 in here, so we'll see how that works out. All right, so very quickly, we'll go through this deck. We'll talk a little bit about how it works in case you haven't seen it before. Then we'll go out and crush some hopes and dreams. So what we got a lot of early aggro, which is just attack, pump, super kill, whatever, which is 1 point of damage, and then make your creature bigger, and then a hasty 2/2. This guy comes out as a hasty 1. It's bigger anytime you play an instant sorcery. Phoenix Chick is a flying 1/1 with haste, but you can bring it back from the graveyard if you attack with 3 or more creatures and can play 2. This does 2 points of damage. If you do it to a player, you can scry 1. This guy allows you to pump money in to make him bigger and bigger, +1 counters. Don't wait. Just play him when you can. That's my advice. This guy will get bigger every time you play an instant or sorcery. He's slow, though, but he's got trample, and so that works out really well. This guy's a hasty dude, and when he dies, you get to exile cards on top of your library and play them until your next turn, at the end of your next turn. 3 points of damage to any target. Squee comes out with haste, and then he puts out a goblin every time he attacks. And you can play him from your graveyard if you got enough things to sacrifice from your graveyard to get rid of. Mechanized Warfare makes all of your red and artifact creatures deal an additional point of damage. Jaya has a lot of abilities for Planeswalker. Prowess Monks, look at the top, basically exile 2 cards from your library and play them until in this turn. What are you going to do? Damage equal to the number of attacking creatures to another creature. And her Super Saiyan abilities, whenever you cast a red or instant spell, you copy it twice. That's fantastic if we can get there. Koth lets you go search for a mountain, put it into your hand, or he could deal damage to a target creature equal to the number of mountains you control, or whenever, as Super Saiyan is whenever a mountain enters battlefield, it deals 4 damage to any target. So Koth is mountain-rific. Urabrask, quite frankly, I don't see how we're ever going to use his Saga ability. So let's just talk about what he is. He is a first strike 4/4. Whenever you play an instant or sorcery, it deals 1 point of damage to an opponent and gives you a mana. Etali, Trample, 7/7. And when it enters the battlefield, each opponent exiles from the top of the library until they find a non-land card. You may cast any number of spells from amongst the non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana cards. Any number of spells from the non-land cards. Well, there's only going to be 1 on each side, so there you go. All right, so Shivan Branch-Burner. Like I said, he's got Convoke, which means you can tap any of your creatures to pay for any of that 5 up there. You pay 2 red, tap a bunch of dudes, you can have this guy for 2 potentially. Skitterbeam. That's the reason I came for this deck. I've been wanting to play Skitterbeam. I got a bad case of Skitterbeamitis where I need to be playing it. You pay 5. You get out 3 2/2s with Trample and Haste. You pay 9, you get 3 4/4s with Trample and Haste. And that's pretty much it. But man, when you get Skitterbeams out, they are skitterific. They're fantastic. This guy can pump out 2 hasty 1/1 spirits that doesn't get affected by Mechanized Warfare at all. But if you're that desperate, you got it. And 23 land, that's the way we're going. Because Koth loves them mountains. So what are we doing? We're getting dudes out. We're going hasty. We're pinging them down. We're pumping things up. And when we get up here, we're using our planeswalkers to just pound, pound, pound. Hopefully we'll have enough mana to put out some of the guys here at the top and destroy them all. That's it. But before we go, let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Dear Black King Toxrill, who lives in the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentation of the women. And we're playing against Blazing Glory. I don't know what that is. All right, let's keep it. Keep. Just shoot some guy in the face. Yeah, all right, that sounds good. Is that a 3? 2. And let's just sit this one out. All right, Squee, let's go do your job. Mechanized Warfare on the next turn. All right, I can't block with what he's got there, so I'll just go ahead and Kumano. That's worth 2. So this is 3, and that's 4, so that's 7 total between the 2 of them. I need a lot more in the graveyard before I can play Squee again, though. Well, there goes my 7. There goes the other 7. Or the other 4 of it. Alright, let's deal damage equal to the amounts that Koth's got going on there. Target creature. And we win! In your face! Whatever your name was. Alright, playing against Fleaster. Keep. All right, 2. Let's just go do a little surgical reconstruction on his face. I need mana. I need mana. That's the problem. I gotta get more. I know this is a red deck. I shouldn't need more than 1 mana, but this deck is trying to hit for a little higher than that. We need more mana. I tell you, I gotta know. I gotta know about the mana situation. All right, there we go. 3 mana. That's gonna get us into a Squee, Goblin Nabob. All attack. You can sacrifice onto a Goblin's bloody battle axe. Its nail-encrusted stick. Okay, I'm getting Squee back. You're a jerk. What do you do for me? Let's kill that guy this way. The old-fashioned way. All in! Alright, what is that? Choose target creature opponent. You attack this turn. Damage equal number of attacking creatures. Yeah, I would have only done 1. Put out a Prowess Monk. She's going to take up all of my ability. There goes Squee. Squee's dead meat. What do we got in the graveyard? 3. Alright, now I got to waste my time killing Sergio there. No haste? Nope, no haste. Alright, go get him, Goblin. Alright, we got the aggressive stance. Everything's pretty sweet. I can use her to look for better cards at this point. Do damage, 3 points of damage to creatures if I needed to. If I can keep her alive. And -8 looks really good too. It's a 5. Thalia. Don't worry, Thalia, I can kill you. Ah, you're who I can't kill. All right, let's just see if you'll take the bait and actually try to kill one of my boys. My boys? Lock it in. There we go. And we win. Suck it, Flea Master. Suck it. Alright, playing against Atlana. 2 mana. I dislike the way this deck likes to do 2 mana. That is not right. 3s and 4s, baby. That's what we need. How much we got in here? 24. It's 24 lands. There's no reason for this. No reason. I'll attack. I almost feel like I need to make sure we get some mana in here early on. And now we're screwed. We're screwed because of the lack of mana. Alright, Senior Snotty Pants. There's the 3rd mana. Let's make this look even sweeter. He's going to go ahead and sacrifice his dude. Oh, he's going to take it. Alright, fine, man. What's his deal? Is he planning on just putting out a bunch of them? Maybe this is an incubate deck? Alright, we're going to go to town. All attack. Everything gets super swole. Down to 5. You need to hold that guy back. I still have the ability to deal. What is that? I'm doing math like a sucker. That's to the face. Let's just take this guy out old-fashioned way. All in. All right, we'll tip our hat at this point. Or tip our hands so we can see what's going on. I can't believe I gave up that land, but all right. -3. All done. Victory. Womp womp. Alright, been against Demon Hunter 86. He's 86 years old. Keep. We need some mana. 7. That's ridiculous. This deck does not like to put out mana. I don't know why I play with this guy. Just one of the reasons I picked this deck is because it had him in it. But there's just no facility for getting up that high mana-wise. I mean, there's just no acceleration. I have to go do this just to fish for mana. Sorry, Squee, not you, baby. I wouldn't have the ability to play you. Can't play either of these two. Good. Play Shivan at 1. There we go. All in. He hits the board like a badass, but he's not. Thing is, I found that if you don't play him, then you wait till later, you're just wasting tons of time. All right, 3. We're looking good. All in for 1. In turn. Still nothing to do it for. Nothing to do it for. What are you putting out? Anything else? You're going to try to take out the Shivan. Good for you. There's a guy. Let's pump him up. All right, Mono White, you are being slow. That's not great. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, this is where my deck starts to really piss me off by refusing to put out and give me a 5th mana. So I need 5, 6, and 7, and you're not doing anything. Attack with more than 1, you don't get anything but a card draw. There you go. Card draw away, baby. Thank you. Jesus, people. Down to 3. Nothing to block with. You got 1 blocker. You attack with nothing, you'll have 2 blockers. You can create 3 blockers now. Let's see, you're kind of out of mana. There you go. Now you have to not attack with anybody to be able to get 3 blockers, and you still lose. You attack. Okay, there you go. You've now discounted yourself the ability to win the game in any way. I'll attack right there. We're not going for any planeswalkers. You can't trick us that way. Ooh, life gain. Yeah, that's bad. That's probably the worst thing about that whole situation. I'm going to gain 1, though. There's no good part for you here. There's nothing. Oh, we freaking lived! Well, that's ridiculous. There we go. Where did that come from? Victory! Alright, playing against Ramputa. Ramputa. Keep. Alright, this is standard mono red aggro right here. I don't like the way your fox is looking at me. He's the most congenial Phyrexian I've ever been encountered before. But those red eyes are very disconcerting. Kumano and Phoenix Chick, it's like peanut butter and jelly. Those two things go great together. Pew 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 pew! So twitchy. And there you go. Phoenix Chick. All attack. Alright, at this point it's Electrostatic Infantry followed up by a Lightning Strike. Squirrel might be good to kill. Death Touch is the guy I'm probably going to have to kill. Alright, let's just go for the Lightning Strike now, because I don't need that guy in my way. All in for 4! What are you going to do? I could use a -2 to kill something on the other side. That might be for the best. Another one. That's the one we're going to have to kill. The Death Touches are little jerks. As long as he taps Scrub, we'll be good. Alright, Jaya, do your thing. Two! Alright, the question is, he can waste his time going after Jaya. Yeah, he is. One thing I like about red aggro is that all of the big stuff is... There you go. Winner, winner. I'm going to say, red, the big stuff is just garbage. You put it out, it's just a target for people to go after. Alright, I'm playing against Landfill, 406. Keep. Let's Phoenix Chick it. I'll attack. Non-creature, non-land. That would be the Planeswalker. All in for 2. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and mechanize it. It lays down the foundations for a bright future. He wants to kill Squee. He knows he's there. Goes the other Planeswalker. Jeez, people, come on. Alright, there's Squee. Down to 10. Do I have a lot in my graveyard? Yeah, Squee can come back. We need 4 mana for that. Got the 4. All attack. It's all looking good. That's killing them. Down to 2. Yeah, that treasure troll never stood a chance. You gotta wipe a board now, baby. There we go. Touchdown, Lava Bears. All right, playing against Lake. Three mana, that's good. We can get ourselves Mechanized Warfare. That way, that crystal is... Hey, keep your dude on your side. That crystal is mine. No! That is my crystal. Duh. You bear just ate it. Should have turned him off. Alright, 2 shots to the face. Not the face, that guy's face. Yeah, I know it. I knows it. He's gonna do the same thing. Alright, Mechanized Warfare. I need a little action. I got it right there. I can play it next turn. I can do the dance too. Alright, man, let's go. What is this, Jerry Springer? You gotta do everything 3 times? Oh, here we go. I'll attack! Unfortunately, I think those guys are neither artifacts nor are they red. Right, that guy gets you killed. Ooh, blue. Interesting. You can't counter. You don't have any blue. I know. I know. There we go. There's some love. Trade off. Let's take it, Lake. Come on, my friend. All right, he's down to 14. We got a long way to go. This deck doesn't like to hold out that long. At this point, the other guy should be dead. Alright, you're out of mana. I don't think you can do anything else here. Alright, I'm going to shoot that guy in the face. I'm going to shoot that guy in the face. And I know that would have been, what, 6, 7, 8 points of damage. But, nah, I need to pull his pants down and spank his butt. He doesn't like having his creatures killed. Alright, this is getting tedious now. Does that count? This guy would like to have a word with you. All in. You're not going to trade off. You want your guy to be able to fly. Not what you're hoping for. Alright, coming all in with some goblins. A good way. Goblin strike! These goblins are powerful. Once again, he's getting a little icon-y. Oh, I'm sorry to get bored. I'll open some pods for you. Jump in. Jump into the pod. Look at that green jelly. Sweet Jesus, let's go. Down to 6. Remember, whatever you get for one, you get for the other. Oh, I popped them both. You try to play defense, they will both get killed. The only thing that you can get is that spirit. You're going to really waste. You got to come after me. You got to take them. You just wasted a card on it if you don't do it. You got to send that 5/2 at me. You got stuff. So I guess you're going to try to block Squee on the next turn. Because you're going to have two other goblins jumping all over you. That's 4 points, 5 for the spirit. I can convoke, come in right now too. See, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have to do all 3 of them to do it though. Yeah, let's do it. We're here to play. We're playing a game, baby! He counters this, he'll suck. Alright, all in. In. No! Alright, we're getting, that's bad mojo now. Here, let's just double this up. All attack. There we go. No math! We'll see what happens here. Alright, let me just start counting. So, each one of the little dudes is doing 3. Squee's going to deal 4. And then we got number 1. So, altogether, that's 6, 10, 11. He can only block 1, which means Squee, which means we're getting 6, 7 through, and he's got 6. So we won this thing. Let's see, he doesn't have anything to do. This is a good game. I won. I did the math! Hate math! As someone once recommended, I say, sometimes math! But yeah, no, I won the game. There's no way he can recover from this one. He's got no cards. He's got 1 blocker, and that's it. Unless, of course, Mechanized Warfare doesn't work the way I thought it did. Not additive. it'd be 1 extra per Mechanized Warfare. It's got to be. I gotta sit here and play all the way through the road. But at least we're getting a dinner. We're getting a show with this dinner. Da-da-da-da. There was a little Spanish flea, a rock and roll star he would be. Just like the Beatles he heard of and the Chipmunks he saw on TV. Why not a little Spanish flea? You're dead, dude. You're dead. Hey, your bear's got fleas. That's how it goes, babykins. Victory! Alright, so here we are with Aggro Red. And, okay. Here's what I gotta say about it. I loved it. I really liked it. Just because I love Aggro Red. And the one thing I found is that I thought this is going to be different because we got all of this cool stuff up here at the top. And the problem with Aggro Red is that you don't ever get that high. You don't ever get that high. You're always playing everything from 3 and lower. So in reality, all this stuff up here was complete garbage for the most part that we never got a chance to use. Now, let me pull that back. Because Shivan Branch-Burner, yeah, we got to use him because of Convoke. Urabrask, I can't tell how we'd ever use that ability. I wouldn't bother to have that card in this deck. Koth, we got to use it. He was worth it. Jaya, got to use it. So I'd say Jaya was good. Koth was good. I'd say the Branch-Burner's good. But Etali, poor Skitterbeam. We just couldn't get up to 5 mana quick enough. That was the problem. I mean, if it was going to go out a little bit later, yeah, man, it's like I could do it. But even then, a 5 mana Skitterbeam is just a mid-game solution. It's not pumped at all. There was no way with this deck to make it anything great. It was just an additional 6 points of damage that just sort of skittered around, right? But yeah, Etali and Urabrask, those things should have been not in this deck. Other than that, everything ahead of time is a fairly standard aggro red deck, and it was really good. That's what I feel bad about is I kind of wanted to play with a deck that was mono red-ish, that was aggro-ish, but had some cool things that happened at the end game. There was never an end game. Even when it went long enough for there to be an end game, usually the deck just hit all the good stuff and you sat there doing nothing. So altogether, I gotta say it was a good deck. I don't want to get to the summary. Let's go ahead and count it up. Who was the MVP of the deck? I'm gonna give the MVP to Mechanized Warfare. It pumped the rest of the deck up. It was really good. Anything else after Mechanized Warfare was great. Sometimes I was in too much of a hurry to pay for it. But Mechanized Warfare was the card I was most looking forward to. So is this deck competitive? Well, let's see. I think I ended up with a 69% win rate. I was rocking it in the 70s for quite a bit. I ended up playing like 16 games with it because they were short. Super fast. And I kind of want to have something with a little bit of meat on it for you. And I got 69%. Tons of wins. 11 wins, 5 losses. So I think of this deck as being competitive. It could definitely be more competitive. Just because, like I said, everything from level 3 over is totally competitive. This stuff's sort of not so much. We were trying stuff out. Was this deck fun? Yeah, it was because it is aggro. The only thing I don't like about this kind of aggro deck is it makes me go super fast, and therefore everything else is slow. Like I recognize, usually I can blame the opponent for being slow, but I noticed I even thought Arena was slow. It was too slow and changing me between games and stuff like that. I realized that I had just put myself into like 1.5 mode or something like that. Hadn't noticed I was running super fast, but I was. So it was a fun deck, but I found everybody else to be maddeningly slow. Number 3, was it interesting? And that's where I'm going to say no, because it was interesting enough to get me to try to play it because of the cards that were shown, but it ended up just being mono red aggro with a bunch of other cards that mostly just sat like pieces of poop in your hand. That wasn't great. Luckily, there wasn't too many. What are we talking about? There's only one of that, two of that. So 4 cards were really just stones. And even Urabrask at 4 could be played. And he had first strike in 4/4. That's not bad. And if you did play anything, he caused an extra damage. I mean, he's okay. He's okay. It's just that 4s are hard to play in this deck. 5s are nearly impossible. And Urabrask isn't that great as a 4 with the rest of the deck. He just doesn't have the synergy. He looks like he should be awesome. It just didn't work out. All right, so let's go ahead and give a general summary of this deck. Was it competitive? Yeah. Was it fun? If you're a mono red player, like somebody whose name might start with Doctor, yeah. Was it interesting? Not so much. So I'm going to give this deck, God, what am I going to give it? I'm hedging between an A- and an A. Just because I feel like it's a little on the disinteresting side because it's just mono red aggro. But man, it is still such a good deck, and it tried to have late game cards in it. I mean, there you go. I'm going to give it a solid A. Solid A. You know, I know there's a lot of people that might be new to Magic Card that are watching this. This deck is tight. Like I said, just toss this mythic here. Oh, he's just a regular rare. Toss that rare. Get rid of Skitterbeam. I mean, I can't believe it because I love Skitterbeam. And get rid of Urabrask. Put in 4 other cards and you'll have a much better deck. Keep them in the 3 range maybe as far as mana is concerned. And I think you'll be good to go. I didn't even notice this thing had a sideboard. Yeah, that invasion there. There you go. Just put 4 of those invasions in rather than this other stuff. All right, so there you go. It's a solid A deck. It definitely has room for improvement. If you decide to play with this deck, I hope that you have more fun than I did. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, screw you guys, I'm going home. Bye.